All right, and welcome to Assets and Algorithms, the show where we explore the intersection of real estate and technology. My guest today is Maria Lozada from Proxima HQ. Thanks for joining me today, Maria. Maria.
No, thanks, Eric, for the invitation. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you as well. And I want to jump in, Maria, as the VP of Sales and Marketing at Proxima. Can you tell me how you see your role influencing the company's mission to revolutionize real estate marketing? And yeah, dive into that.
Okay, no, so I started with Proxima a few months ago, and what we're doing is amazing. We're trying to change a bit how we're doing real estate marketing from a tech perspective. We're based in Vancouver, and my role is basically from sales, everything that is related to bringing to the market our product, to creating the marketing strategy on how we're doing that and creating the outreach to get to as many people in North America as we can. We're targeting developers and everyone that is right now in the real estate market. And with everything that is happening, it's been quite a challenge because developers are no longer launching new projects, but they are also shifting into new ways on how they can market these projects that are out there.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Tell me a little bit about Proxima HQ and some of the partnerships that you guys have coming up.
Okay, so Proxima is a real estate platform for marketing all type of projects in real estate. You can go from residential in pre-sale to multifamily in rentals, which is a huge part of the market right now, to even an industrial proper project that you have. What we are doing is that we're trying to create a turnkey platform where you can upload all the content that you have and create the right front end and virtual interactive experience where users can interact with that information and then get all the storytelling of the project. If it's from the sales center and you want to have the touchscreen and everything related to 3D model, or you wanted to have it in your own project's website, we are also creating that type of experience that, as you know, part of tech is how we connect the part of real estate with everything that is happening online. So we're trying to create those experiences and attaching that into the customer journey of each one of the developers. And then the third part, which is the agents, which play a huge role in this. We're creating spaces for them to get and access the right content information, which is one of the main pain points right now. We get a lot of content, a lot of data, and then nothing is organized and you don't know how to get to your target market. So we're doing that for them.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. I think it's definitely necessary that we have these tools that are able to support professionals in the industry. I'd love for you to walk us through what a typical day in your position looks like and how do you balance the strategic planning with the dynamic nature of the prop tech industry?
Okay, so I love planning strategy, and I think that that's my core. So I think that my day starts understanding and planning what I'm going to do and who I'm going to reach out to. We are at a very, very early stage of the company. So right now we're mostly doing outreach. And then for that outreach to happen, you need to have a research, right? Because there is a lot of data out there in the market. So you need to understand who you're targeting, why you're targeting them, what's happening, what's gonna change in the near future, and what are the type of projects that they are into. And then after that, I think that like process is understanding what is going to be their main pain point in what they are trying to look for, and then based on what we have and the product that we have, how can I resolve that pain point that they might have. And it's just strange, but it can vary in between developers, right? They can have similar projects, but maybe they do not have the same pain points. They can have different structures inside of their companies. They might be doing processes in different ways. So this, like gives me tips on how to reach out to them. And coming back to what you asked me about integrations, we're working with major firms like Spark, Yardi, Avesto. We are also just recently integrated with Salesforce. So what we're trying to create is these synergies with companies that also are part of the proptech environment, that also, like are part of this journey that they are trying to simplify. And then this way, I can also understand from their point of view on the systems that they are using, how can they attach that into Proxima's platform and then go from there with the outreach that I'm doing. course.
Of course, of course. And those are some pretty impactful integrations. It sounds like it's really going to help streamline what these developers are doing. I'd love for you to tell me about your perspective on what significant shifts you're seeing currently shaping the real estate marketing landscape.
Everything is changing. I think that the fact that AI has been changing the way that we live and basically how we act and think, everything is going to have an impact from the inside of an organization to even how we market real estate. So in that space, I'm thinking that platforms like Proxima are going to become really important into implementing into your marketing processes or developers marketing processes, because these platforms that are related to have the capacity of collecting these data that the end of the day, or it's the data that it's going to feed that AI I don't know, processes that they can start building, and then they can understand what's happening from the inside. Because most of the times, and also to say something about like marketing, you try to fit into a trend, or you try to go and research what's happening outside of your company. But most of the time with the data, if you know how to use it and collect it, you have the information from inside. So I think that AI is going to simplify that for us. And this is why it's simplifying processes and even, like making us in a way obsolete, but more efficient. So it's not that it's going to replace us, but it's going to make us better if we understand how to use it in our favor. So that's the major shift that it's coming, and how we integrate all these different, like companies that are out there and put that data to work for us.
Absolutely. I love that answer. I think AI is definitely changing the way that we're interacting and we're marketing and communicating with each other, and allowing us to stay in contact a bit better, understand the information about each other a bit better, and then concentrate on really building those relationships. So I love that answer. I think with some of the features that you guys offer at Proxima, like dynamic 3D models and interactive floor plans, are really impactful as well, and forward thinking. How have those technological advancements impacted your approach to the sales and marketing strategies?
So I think that, I mean, if I'm going back into how to go to like into market, I'm not going to say that I'm using the feature perspective, because everyone can sell a feature, and it's not about the feature. It's about creating the right experience and what the end user, because we're a B2B 2C platform. So it's about the user, the end user, their client, the developer, which is my client. It's going to see and how they are interacting with that. Why is it necessary for them to start implementing all these features and information and creating, that experience more memorable for the people that are going to use it? It's funny because this morning I had a demo, and I was trying to explain that one of the shifts that I see coming is that people don't want to read anything anymore. So in a website, right?
Mhm.
You start scrolling, 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 and then you can measure everything, but people are no longer connecting to paragraphs or any type of copy that it's out there, like, I don't know, using main keywords like faster or something like that, the greatest floor plan viewer in the world. It's not about that, because it's not no longer about the copywriting, because copywriting can be easily made by AI, but it's about the experience. Where do they click? Are they understanding the project in this case? Are they able to compare and access more information that at the end is going to make their decision making easier? So it's about that. Projects and real estate are quite traditional, I would say. There are a lot of developers that might say, like, I rather have this information for myself and just like guide the user once they come to me. But the market is saying something different. Everything is online. So the more information you put out there strategically and you show them what it's about, it's what's going to drive that client into your project, and it's what's going to make the deal close faster, or choose you, in a very competitive market, choose your project or another project. It's not about how pretty it is, the floor plan, let's say, or the render itself. It's about the experience that they had while interacting and understanding your project.
Absolutely. I love that as well, because, being able to immerse yourself into the floor plan. The floor plan may be the same as another project, but being able to immerse yourself with that 3D modeling really does and can make a difference for someone who's at home looking at it online as opposed to making those travels to get there and see it in person. So you guys are doing a ton. It sounds like there's some growth and you're at the beginning of it. So it's really, really exciting. I'd love to hear about some of your successes and maybe some of your challenges that you're going through as well.
Okay, so successes. I'm gonna start saying that we're in this phase where we're seeing that, as I said, the market is shifting and it's very unpredictable, not only because of the political side, but economy in general is really weird right now. So a lot of projects that we're about to launch are not. And what we're seeing is that no matter what, I mean, there's always going to be a market to market properties. So the
Mhm.
platform works and can adapt. And what we're doing is that creating it in a way that it's scalable as well. So it's meant for new projects, or it can also be for projects that have been in the market and maybe they didn't like reach the point of sales that they were supposed to, and now they are revamping that into seeing how they can attract and compete now in the market as well. That's the beauty of our platform, that it can scale, it can adapt, and it's flexible. And as for challenges, what I'm saying, one, the market, but we're gonna not gonna stop because of that. I've had different challenges because I'm new to Canada as well. So I've been here for only 3 months and getting to know everyone and the players. That's my number one challenge. But the second one I would say is trying to keep up with everything that is changing, especially what I'm saying with AI.
Mhm.
So in this tech environment, I think that companies are going to need to adapt and create and hear their customers. And based on what the product and what their customers are saying, they're going to have to make changes and implement them. And that makes this a challenge because the ones that can adapt faster and create those, like those features or changes into a product are the ones that are going to succeed in the market.
I agree. I think, information is coming at all of us really quickly, but being able to sift through that and understand exactly what the customer needs to be able to make those changes and pivot so that you fulfill those needs in real time is paramount. So in that pursuit, what would you say are the metrics that you prioritize when assessing the effectiveness of your marketing or your strategies for Proxima?
Okay, so I can go very deep into the type of metrics from marketing point of view or even sales, but I think that the most important ones are always going to be sales margins and the profits. If you're tracking your revenue and how much you're making, and then from there, how much is that margin that you're making, then you're good. Those are my main two.
I love it. I mean, it's bottom line, right? That's what you're in sales for to push that revenue forward. So looking ahead 6 to 12 months in the future, what would you say the goals for growth around Proxima are at this time?
So I'm excited for what's coming. We're making a lot of like updates and frequently making feature updates, product updates that are releasing. We're trying to adapt really fast as I was mentioning, and we're trying to create something that is flexible and scalable. So with everything that is happening in the market, I'm not even sure if this is gonna happen, but what I can see is that we're gonna become also part of like the integration and the partnerships that we're building with the ecosystem and AI are going to be a key role for us to keep growing and trying to cover the demand of what's going to happen in real estate marketing, especially for online marketing, where everyone is going to try to find their clients online. I see a mix in between AI agents with avatars and then, like creating these experiences that are self-guided. And then I don't know why, but I saw what Gamma did, which I think it's amazing, and Canva, what Canva is doing. So I also see us going that same path, like trying to adapt and create something that it's for everyone that it's in the real estate marketing or real estate environment in general, and then creating something that relates into AI, customizable customer journeys with the right experience, with the right tools and interactions that we're creating for them. So something like that. I think that it's that.
Absolutely. I think that would be amazing. It's definitely needed. It's one of those things where Gamma and Canva are amazing, right? But to have something specialized for developers and real estate professionals as a whole would definitely be a game changer. Last question. If you could resolve any major challenge in the real estate market sector today, what would it be and why?
Any major Problem? Wow, there are so many problems right now in the market. Starting with the market and then going into each one of the specific things, it would be the way that we use data into our favor. Something that I mentioned before is that I think that most of the developers and everyone in the market has the power because they have the data. But I don't think that they are going deep into understanding that power that they have and what they are collecting into understanding what the city is like the city wants or needs. For me, the cities are like these living ecosystems that can grow or can be planned based on these data. And if there was a way for all developers to work together, and I'm saying this even coming from my Colombian background, you see all these huge developers work by the or on its own or by their own and not collecting the dots on what they are doing. They are just competing. Again, looking into trends, trying to see what the other is doing instead of like trying to understand what the city is asking for and what their real users are asking for. So you understand what are their main pain points. In Colombia's case, you can say that it's based on affordability of housing. And instead of creating these huge projects that are affordable housing, but what they are doing is that they are growing communities with very poor design and very poor quality of life for the ones that are buying it. They should be looking into how can we create something that it's better, that it's for the city, starting for the city, and then going into specific, like pain points of the ones that are gonna inhabit that space, unit, that property, the city at the end. But yeah.
I think that could be really impactful to have those developers work together to create a cohesive city where everybody's needs are met, the quality of life is put in the front, and you kind of have an actual community rather than just everybody competing to see who can put on grab the most tenants or something of that nature.
And you can see that it's not only I'm talking about my experience because of course my background comes from Colombia, but when I got here, same issues. I mean, different city, way more developed, but they're having the same issues. There are huge developments that are planned or being planned, and then you see them that they are not really actually covering that housing problematic that it's happening right now because yes, they are amazing developments, but most of these units are going to be high end or they are not going to be, attending those who are actually part of the problematic of the lack of housing. So something like that.
Yeah, I live in New York, and I can definitely tell you that it's an issue here as well. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful insights. I appreciate that, Maria. I want to give you the opportunity to let people know where they can find you, where can they reach out to you if they would like to implement Proxima, or if they just want to continue the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so they can reach me to Maria at proximahq.io or Maria in English, at proximahq.io. Happy to talk to anyone that is trying to find the best way to market their project. Our platform, as I said before, can adapt to any type of real estate project. We go from sales center experiences to even if you want to create an experience for your own website, we can also do that and support you in that process that it's creating the right experience in this very competitive market.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for joining me today for this episode of Assets and Algorithms.
No, Derek, thank you again for having me.